BSTT. It's Ben here, and today I'm going over who will win the MVP. So let's get right into the video. So, this NBA season, there have been a lot of great players. There are 38 players averaging over 20 points per game, with RJ Barrett being player number 38. And it's incredible to know how Steve Nash won it, 15 years ago, something like that, averaging 18 points per game. And even though Steve Nash was an incredible player, if he played in today's NBA, he would not come close to MVP. But there are multiple players that I think could win it. And out of the 3 players I chose for the thumbnail and that you're seeing right now, I don't think any of them are going to win it, but I think some of them might be finalists. As Steph Curry is averaging 25.5 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, 6.3 assists per game, and he is leading the Warriors to right now being the 3 seed in the West. That's great. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 29.7 points per game, 11.6 rebounds per game, 5.8 assists per game, and he's leading his Milwaukee Bucks. What are the Bucks? The 3 seed also. Ja Morant, he's leading his Grizzlies to 2 seed in the West, which is good, and he's averaging 27.6 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game, 6.7 assists per game. Those 3 players are playing great, but I think there are players that are better than him. My real 3 picks, one of them is the winner, but my 3 finalists are DeMar DeRozan, 27.7 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game. And he's having his Bulls at the 5 seed. Jason Tatum, 27.1 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game. His Celtics are the 4 seed, and they've had a major turnaround with him. And my 3rd pick for it is Joel Embiid, 29.9 points per game, 11.4 rebounds per game, and 4.2 assists. Stats don't really matter as much as team impact, and that's why I think DeMar is the MVP. Although all these players are great, and a lot of them have won MVPs already, DeMar has never won an MVP, which there's voter fatigue where they're not going to vote Steph, Giannis, who else did I say that? They're not going to vote them. And Ja, although having an incredible year, he struggled with injuries in the beginning of it, and say the least, he's having a great year, but I don't think it's his year yet. Who else? Giannis, like I said before, voter fatigue. Steph, voter fatigue. Who else? Jason Tatum. Tatum's winning MVP. Look at what Tatum said. Tatum brought the Celtics from just barely being in the play-in to being the 4 seed in the last few months. He's playing incredible. 27 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. The stats don't show, though, what he really does every night on both sides of the ball, at both forward positions. He's great. DeMar DeRozan's been a really clutch player this year. Scoring a lot of points, but the Bulls haven't been that good recently. They've been falling off a steep cliff, and hopefully it stops soon for their sake. But he has the most fourth quarter points out of everyone. But that doesn't really matter when your team can't beat a top 3 team. They lost to my Knicks yesterday. And although an individual game doesn't matter, those individual games start building up. And then you could fill up a lot of jars with them. And Embiid, this was a tough one, because Embiid has much better stats. But, Embiid, he's got great stats, great player, but I just don't think he deserves it. He's playing on a Sixers team that has a lot of star power, a lot of good players, great coach, and he's the end result of it. I think he's an incredible player, but I don't think it should go to him. I think it should go to the most valuable player. That's what the award is, most valuable player. If the Sixers didn't have Embiid, they'd still be a playoff team with Harden and Maxey and Tobias Harris. If the Celtics didn't have Tatum, they'd still have Jaylen Brown and what's his name, Derek White. But they couldn't carry the Celtics to a playoff spot. You saw it earlier this year, and you've seen it in previous years. Tatum is the deciding factor for the Celtics, and is an incredibly skilled player. And that's why I have Jason Tatum as my MVP. So like, sub, and have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!